Here's what I will say. Forget all the money for a second. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors right now. I think a lot of people agree that they're a better team right now than they were last week.
Yes, slightly.
Slightly, but a better team.
Yeah.
When I look at the Golden State Warriors and I look at what happened last season and the games they won, what were they, 4 back of the Sacramento Kings? They ended up winning, 44 games off the top of my head. And that's with Steph Curry missing over 30 games.
And being over 500 in those games where he missed, which is kind of shocking.
Which is very shocking. Andrew Wiggins missed 2.5 months. Basically 2 months of playing time. 2 months of games. 2 months of action. The Warriors, I was listening to Steiny yesterday say, I don't know if they're a 40-win team. They went 44-38 last year with everything that happened and ends up winning the 6th seed. If I said, hey, Shasky, Andrew Wiggins is going to play close to 80 games next season, which he's done for the most part in his career.
Yes.
Last year was an outlier.
Iron Man.
Yeah, last season was an outlier. He plays 80 games, and you get relatively good health with Steph, Dre, Clay, Looney, Chris Paul. Is this a 50-win team?
Boy.
Because if they're a 50-win team, that puts them in the top 4 of the Western Conference. And all of a sudden, we're talking about a team that maybe could be, like right now.
How many did they win the year before? When they got off to the 18-2 start. What?
53.
Wow, they only won 53.
53, because remember, Steph got hurt. There were some struggles there. 53 and 29.
I mean, if you told me the over-under was like 52.5, I think I'd take the under. Are they about a 50-win team? Yeah, that would probably be what I think. Because you got to think that they're going to, like, pace themselves throughout the regular season, no doubt. And then I just think as nice of an addition Chris Paul is for the playoffs,
right.
I think baked into resting him and getting him ready for the playoffs would be minor setbacks during the regular season. Right. And like that's the one element I think of Jordan Poole. He was an Iron Man. He really was for them. I mean, Jordan Poole was extremely healthy. Like he was a lot of things. He was really good when Steph was out. And you got to kind of account for 15 or so Steph games that you're going to miss.
You're going to miss.
A couple years prior, what were they, 1-10, Bonte, when Steph missed games?
Yep. The play-in tournament.
Right? And I think they were 14-12 this year without Steph Curry. That's pretty good. And then the thing that I don't have the answer for is, is Draymond going to be healthy for the entire year if he comes back?
Draymond played 73 games last year.
I know, but he missed a lot of time the year prior.
73 games last year, and look,
that's a surprising number.
It was essentially a contract year for Draymond Green because he's opted out. Now he's a free agent. So he played 73 games. Steph 56, Clay 69, Andrew Wiggins, of course, 37. 37. Damn, that's it. 37 games for Andrew Wiggins in a regular season.
That is kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy when you really look at that.
But he did miss the time with the abductor strain. So I think that the absence for personal reasons, the thing that, like, to me was, like, man, he had his first real injury. The abductor strain did really set him back.
So when we talk about the money, and we talk about this team, and we talk about importance, and we talk about pecking orders and all that stuff, and a lot of people say, well, these athletes should take discounts. They should do this. Well, what about the state of California? Where you're getting taxed up the wazoo? I
mean, you're making, in their tax bracket's like 50%, but for normal folk, it's somewhere between 60 and 66%.
Exactly. That
you're bringing home.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
When
you go to other states, you get more like 70, 75, up to 80, and that's a big difference.
So I get why a player would not want to take a discount. I get why a player in that position will want to get all the money he can get. Now, damn it, the team, like Steph Curry, right? He's making $215 million. And he's probably underpaid considering what he's done for the franchise.
I agree.
Right?
Underpaid, absolutely. Considering what he's done to the valuation of the team,
jersey
and market
sales,
share, and the Q rating, absolutely.
Who he is, he's worth every single cent. But will Draymond take a discount on his team? Will Draymond actually do that? And I don't know if he will, but I just know in my position, I'm taking every damn cent I can get because I don't come from money. I don't come from any of that stuff. I don't know what it's like to be in a two-parent household. I don't know what it's like to have people, in my family going to college or having internships to where they could go work them and be okay because they got something on the side here. My family's got to work for everything. And a lot of these NBA players, a lot of these NFL players you think about come from the South and Midwest or whatnot that have nothing.
Yeah, but
this is their one opportunity to earn something. So their life is just completely different in that realm compared to our everyday life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Bonta, you're omitting, like, if this were his first contract, I would totally, wholeheartedly agree with you. Once you've hit generational money multiple times, because he had the first extension, then the second extension. All right, this will be his fourth contract. We're not talking about the first payday. We're talking about his fourth contract. I do think there's some difference there.
What if he wants to go into ownership soon? What if he wants to go on the team?
You know how
what
much
if he wants to go?
Exactly.
But if you want a percentage, if you want to buy into liquor companies, if you want to do, what if you have other endeavors that you want to get into? You want to make every single sit that has that. Are you a
basketball player or are you an
Draymond Green's a basketball player.
I know.
So we don't know what his motivation is when it comes to his money.
But again, then that's what I would say.
I don't feel good telling a player, hey, man, you should take a discount.
No, I didn't say position at all. Take a discount. I said the money here is not going to be equal to the money elsewhere. We realize that you're valued here at X. And here's the other part, which we did with Wiseman and we've done with Jordan Poole. If you're going to do the luxury tax calculation on every single deal, bringing Draymond back at even $20 million costs you an additional $80 million.
No doubt about that for the Golden State Warriors.
Right? We did this with Kelly Oubre.
For the Golden State Warriors,
it's very, very expensive, which sucks because it puts the Warriors in a very difficult position. If you lose Draymond outright and you get nothing back in return, you just lose that slot.
No doubt.
You lose those assets.
No doubt.
You lose those players.
I understand all that. We
sucks.
talked about that. It does suck. But we're talking about Draymond Green and what he should do with his contract, not what it's going to cost to go to State Warriors. Now, if he does go elsewhere, and we may say, man, Draymond, he's going to stink because he's not a Golden State Warrior. He's going to stink because he needs Steph. Well, as much as we say Steph needs Draymond, which I think is asinine, what Draymond Green's listening is like, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere else and prove why I'm a baller, why I was an All-American at Michigan State, why I helped this team win 4 championships, and maybe I will go elsewhere and get the bag and prove every hater wrong. Maybe that's his motivation now. It's like, oh, they say I can't get it done without these guys? Well, watch this. So when it comes to the luxury tax, I get all that. I'm not in the camp of paying 3 years, $90 million for Draymond Green. I've been on record for saying that for the last 3 weeks. But my position here is I'm not going to tell a player not to take a discount, just to take a discount or to help. I'm not in their position. No, I don't know what motivates them. And if they do that, then it sets a bad precedent for the other players, right? Because other players are going to say, well, what about my earning power? Well, Draymond Green took a discount, and that player may not have had 2 contracts yet. He may have had 1 contract, or he may not have gotten that back. You get what I'm saying?
No, I do, but there's been precedent already set. And when Clay and Andre both took slightly less at that time, their first ever extension, like that was precedent set. Other guys have taken slightly less. Steph Curry's an example on his first contract. So
Clay hasn't. Clay is.
Well, that was the third one. Yeah. That was the third one. Because remember, him and Draymond signed those extensions, which enabled them to be able to squeeze Kevin Durant in.
The first contract Clay ever signed, though, there were some rumblings like, damn, Clay took all that money. Damn, Clay took all that money. Damn, he got everything.
A year and a half later, it seemed like a great deal because the cap exploded.
It did.
Because of the TV money.
Exactly.
But here's the part that I don't think we can sleep on. It was unsustainable to roll over a $350 million payroll, right? I know everyone thinks that Joe Lacob has endless money. At some level, it has to pencil in for profitability. They, at some level, have to be able to make that a sustainable business model. And I truly believe that continuing to dip in $350, $400 million in terms of a payroll, considering the luxury tax, that's unsustainable if you're not going deep in the playoffs, getting that gate back in return. So I do think there's a threshold. We think that these billionaires have endless money. You cannot operate at a loss year after year after year into the foreseeable future. You will go broke at some point. And I'm not trying to cape up for ownership. I'm simply saying there's a line that they have to draw, and I understand that.
Well, let them draw that line. If they want to keep spinning, keep spinning. It's not my money. I don't. There is a line, but Lacob said, "Look, man." Like I said, I will spin if I know I'm going to win.
Exactly.
If I'm going to be in a position to win. And you know what? He might be in a position to win. I see